Here's Ben and talk about your budget.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. I'm David Smith, the Juvenile Court Clerk of Nashville-Davidson County. To my left is Julia Sloss, the Director of Operations and Budget Analyst, Tisa Phelps, the General Office Manager, and Haley Liss, who is heads up our bookkeeping department. First off, I would like to thank the Juvenile Court Clerk staff for their hard work over the last year. As Judge Green mentioned, we are now back in the building as of March the 11th of last year. So it's been a year of transition, getting everything moved back in, and they've adapted really well with the situation. I'd like to mention a few accomplishments that I'm very proud of, and number one being the scanning project that we undertook last year. We were very fortunate through yourself and Mr. Riebling and the Metro Council that we were appropriated $300,000 out of the 4% fund to undertake that project. And we are proud to announce here today that January 31st, it was completely satisfied, and we were able to complete that project with less than $225,000. And on top of the $75,000 we were turning back in, FEMA kicked in an additional $72,000 for a total of $147,000 back to Metro. And we are, as I said, completely operational as far as the scanning goes now, so the magistrates and judge can pull up their pleadings and things from the bench if need be. Natalie Steers over at JIS and our office have been working very close together with her staff, implementing bookkeeping procedures through Haley's division, where we're tracking everything now online, things that were actually done in a manual paper form years ago and up until just recently, back up as far as 2010. Everything now is online through our tracking system. We're able to track the victims' comp accounts. I know it was highly publicized last year. Greg and we mentioned that at the last budget hearing a year ago, how we awarded $253,000 last February 15th a year ago to victims who were unrecognized when they turned 18 years old. And we tracked those individuals and found them and brought them in and awarded those funds. And now we are able to keep up with those on a monthly basis and track and make sure that the banks are not making errors and taking fees and fines and things like that out of those bank accounts. That was one of the major problems years ago when we discovered that. We have been meeting on a regular basis with Assistant Commissioner David Sanchez over at DHS and the Child Support Division about ways to help our office and help the state in return with the petitions that come across through the child support services, where those things are now delivered manually, and we're trying to implement a program with JIS and their IT department in order to bring those in electronically. With wage assignments, for example, on another matter with DHS, we receive about 800 of those a month through the U.S. mail, through the state's postage fees, and we're trying to implement a way with their system and ours where we can tie in together and have those things delivered electronically to hold down on their cost, and it would make our office more effective as well if we could receive them through the system and deposit them into that account, or to that file rather, without having to actually open the papers and everything each day. We're very proud of our website through JIS once again that they helped us establish. It's able to help the pro se litigants and the attorneys as well pull forms from the website, and they're bringing them to the counter already filled out, which is helping us and helping them as well speed up their process of getting things filed. Our goals is to continue cross-training the staff in areas, to maintain staff cross-training so that they can be effective in each section of our department. We want to continue remaining current with our scanning as the pleadings come across the counter and through the electronic filing through DHS. And hope to be 100% fully functional with the system with the bookkeeping section in the next 3 to 6 months. Currently, we're still doing a little bit of paper receipting and things of that through bookkeeping, and we're hoping to have that completely functional in the next 3 to 6 months, so everything will be tracked through the system, through the computer system. And that's we incorporated last year the assistance of the collection agency, something we started, followed suit from the criminal court clerk's office, and we were able to generate about $43,000 since last February in uncollected fines and costs that the collection agency has turned over to us. We've also started going out to the satellite schools, started at Apollo, and then now we go to Maplewood about every 3 weeks and do a collection docket there on a truancy docket. And that's generated several $1,000 in uncollected fines that, you know, a lot of times we just walk out the door and then you send them a cost letter. Sometimes they show, sometimes they don't. So we're catching them on the front end there at the school, usually when their parents are with them. Somebody's reaching in their pocket, whether it be the minor or the parent, but somebody's having to pay up a lot of times. So that's working out really well. We're proud to announce that our projected budget last year was a little under $500,000, and we're going to actually turn over about $530,000, which in effect is a 2% reduction in our next year's budget. So I guess we would just beg that we
didn't even smile.
I know he did. I know he did. And I was looking directly at him too. But that's about our presentation, and we're here to answer any questions that you might have.
Well, it sounds like you've made a lot of progress you had a lot of things to do when you came into office, and it seems like you've made a lot of strides, and getting all that scanning done was no small task. Has there been a recent audit? Have you had an audit?
We are currently, the internal auditors are in office now, and I actually asked for that audit right before taking office. And
they're just getting due now?
Well, we agreed, since we were displaced in 5 locations, we'd wait till we got moved back in. So they actually started the audit in December, and I think they may conclude what their prediction was in May. But I would mention too, and of course I don't know anything about the findings of the audit. All we can do is hope that they come out well. But they have.
It's a tool. It's an informational tool.
It is, and that's exactly what we're hoping. Yeah, I mean anything that they find, I mean, of course we'll correct it immediately, hopefully. But they have actually put a comment box on our counter, and I would like to mention that I'm entitled to share with the auditor those cards as they come in. She shares those with me, and just the reviews that we're getting from our staff and the courteous manner that our staff's performing in, I'd like to compliment our staff on that, because the cards are just I mean they're getting really good reviews on them, and I'm proud of that.
Good. You have, for the 2% reduction, how would that be handled?
Well, Mayor, about the only way that we could handle that would probably be to lose one full-time employee. Since 2008, prior to my arrival in 2010, the office is down 7 employees since 2008. Fortunately, we were able to retain our numbers last year at 28, 29 including myself, but we really don't see any other alternative except to cut a position if we had to.
Okay.
No questions. Good job.
These guys are just easy.
Okay, thank you so much.
It's one of those comment cards, Rich.